All right, hello everyone. Back in the garden again. Today I have to correct some mistakes that I made earlier. I went by my uncle's garden uh, today. Gave me some more tips and pointers on how to better plant my plants, my vegetable plants. You can find the tips in my comments. I will add them to my comments, the tips about some of the bucket gardening that I'm doing. One of the things I did that was wrong was when I filled my buckets up, I didn't fill them up to the brim. He said with vegetable plants, since they have a lot of roots, they need a lot of room. So the best thing to do when you're doing your buckets to always fill the soil up to the rim. It's almost close to the rim before you plant your flowers, so they have a lot of bottom area for roots. So I got to correct some of those issues today. Unfortunately, with the fact that I have the plants already in here, I can only fill them up to the bottom of the top leaves of the current plants, and then as they grow taller, I better fill them out some more and top them off when they get bigger, because you don't want to smother what you have in there right now. So you just want to fill what you got. So I work with what I got. Like I said, I'm a novice at this thing. I'm learning as I go along. I'll be getting my expertise from my Uncle Randy. He will be my mentor in this journey that I'm having with my container gardening. Container bucket garden, how you want to do it. Easy to get started, guys. So if you're interested on how to get these things started, drop me a comment in my comments. Any tips, any questions you have, please just add to the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Any questions you may have, if I don't know the answer, I will get with my uncle, who's an expertise at this thing. Been doing it for years, and I ask him, and she can get the answer for you. What's up, girl? So just let me know, and I'll do it. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let me go ahead and fix this issue I have going on, and I will get back with you guys when I'm done. So we have here my 5-gallon bags of tomatoes I started a while back. Like my uncle said, fill them all the way up. That way you get enough room for all the roots to grow. They say vegetable plants need a lot of room for roots. So I'm gonna fill these up also. Now here comes a fun and interesting part. I found out that you can put cabbage plants with potato plants, because the cabbage will grow on top, potatoes will grow at the bottom. So I have two 7-gallon pots for potatoes, one red, one white. So what I'm going to do is I have some cabbage starter plants in there. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to fill those up with dirt all the way to the brim. I'm going to plant my 2 cabbage plants right in the middle of it. Let's see how that works. Red and white. I have my 2 starter cabbages. love full sun, so it'll be great out here. So what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I fill these up with dirt all to the top, what I probably do is put these in while I fill them up, so that way I can leave them in a hole, but fill up with dirt to the top, plant the 2 cabbage. Remember, I do everything in the pea pots. When pea pots get wet and soft, the roots bust through the pea pots and spread their love around. I spread their roots around, as you can say, looking for water. So that's what I'm gonna do here. So as soon as I get these things planted, I'll get back with you. You still here, girl? You wanna see how you do it? Stand by, you can watch too. And remember, whenever you do transplanting of any of your plants, make sure you water them. Give them good water. A lot of plants get a shock when they've been moved from one place to another place. That's one thing why I like to use pea pots, because I'm not really shocking the roots. They're already still intact, and they don't do a lot of movement. So when I'm moving over, I don't disturb the roots at all. So hopefully the shock treatment doesn't be as shocking to them, but they do need to be watered whenever you transplant them. I'm not sure if you guys was wondering why I have my dirt in buckets. 2 things. First thing is I'm using buckets to plant my garden, of course. That's one way. Second thing is I own a car. I don't own a truck yet. So currently I have to transport my stuff the best way I know how. So I do twofer. When I go to my uncle's house to get my supplies, he has piles of dirt. So what I do is I put the dirt in the buckets. In turn, I use it for my garden. And now, once the buckets get empty, I can use them to plant new flowers. So it works 2 different ways. So in case anybody was wondering why I have dirt in buckets and not like a pile of dirt dumped in my yard somewhere, that's why I do it. Another thing I learned today is that kale, I thought kale was a winter plant that only grows in the wintertime. Well, my uncle explained to me that it does grow well in the wintertime, but you can start them in the spring. So I got some starters here for kale. I'm going to go ahead and put them in one of my buckets here, plant up and start it. Now, one thing about kale, it cannot have direct sunlight for 8 hours a day. They have a little sun, but not a whole lot of sun. Your whole goal is to keep the soil warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them here, but I'm not going to leave them out here in the main garden area. I'm putting them closer to the house. Therefore, it catches the shade, but it gets the heat of the day, but it doesn't get the full sun of the full day. And we're going to see how they do. So there you have it. I planted my kale, left a little bit of top on the top so get a little sunlight to hit the leaves. I'm going to water them real good, soak up that pea pot that's in there so it get nice and moist and stay moist in the sand, in the dirt, in the soil. So therefore the roots could bust through and do its business. So another quick tidbit that my uncle gave me was with this soil, when it's real rich, especially with manure and stuff like that in it, it attracts ants. You can use the regular gradual ant pesticide on the soil to keep the ants out. It doesn't kill them, it just makes them move. And it does not hurt your vegetable plants at all. Just don't drown it, of course, but you do a little bit gradual at a time. Okay, so just be careful with that when you get rich soil, especially when it's high concentrated in manure. You know, manure attracts a lot of things, so be careful with that. But you can use ant gradual killer to have the ants move away from your vegetable garden. All right. So I have enough soil left to possibly do one more bucket for today. I have these romaines that I've started. See, they've been doing pretty decent in our temperature. Haven't been outside in the full sun though, but I believe they do the exact same thing that my kale would do. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to create a bucket for romaine, and then I'm going to put it the same place with the kale, where it don't get complete direct sunlight, but it gets the heat of the day, and we're going to see how they grow. So I'm going to go and take care of these real quick, and I'll get back. All right, there you have it. You have the romaines planted. I planted my kale. I filled my buckets up with more soil to the top. All my tomato plants, my green peppers. I did my tomato bags. I filled them up to the top. My potato plants I filled to the top. I also added cabbage to the pot, the bag, if you want to call it. And I got everything going. So for today, we're gonna call it. I'm gonna go ahead and water all these, and I will definitely see you guys later. Also remember, if you have any comments, suggestions, or even questions, please leave them below in the comments section. Also, I will be adding tips in the description of my videos that I received from my uncle. Like I said, he's been doing it for a lot of years now. Expertise, he's my mentor, getting my garden started. I'll be taking you guys on tours of his place regularly, so you can see what's going on. I'm also gonna go over there and put my hands in his dirt and learn what he actually does to keep his garden going year round. So keep tuning in. More videos to come. Peace.